This is the new Mini Cooper Electric. It looks pretty cool, hey? Most people would identify it quite rightly as a British vehicle, and a lot of people would know it's also owned by German car maker BMW. But what you might not know is that this vehicle is built in China by GWM. Has globalization gone mad, or is this a wonderful multicultural phenomenon? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And now let's dive in to this fascinating hatchback. Two versions of the electric hatchback arrive in Australia from the third quarter of 2024, think around August, priced from $54,000, which is significantly cheaper than the current models. The British icon brandishes a delightfully retro exterior design that is closer to the Minis of old than any modern iteration, and I personally really like this stripped back new look. You can only get a 3-door body style at this stage, but I reckon the new hatch looks absolutely fantastic. It's simple and elegant. It's a pared back design, and it's stripped back, and it's got a bit more of a classic look like the previous versions. The biggest departure for this design is round the back with the new Matrix LED brake lights. I love the new alloy wheel designs on the Mini, but annoyingly, only these top spec SE models are available with British Racing Green. If you go the entry-level model, you can't get it. Two powertrains are offered, mild and medium in terms of spiciness. This one is the SE, it's the medium powered one, and they are both fitted with a single e-motor driving the front wheels through a single speed automatic transmission. This more expensive SE model has more power and torque than the entry grade, but we're hoping there's a super spicy JCW model in future with twin e-motors and all-wheel drive. That would be a lot of fun. Two different battery packs are offered. The base grade model gets a 300-kilometer range, and this one gets a 400-kilometer range. But both of those EV driving ranges are definitely on the lower side. But the smaller the battery, the faster the charging, in theory. Mini reckons this one will charge from 0 to 80% using a fast DC charger in about 30 minutes. And if you use a 11 kilowatt wall box that you might have at home or the office, it'll take around 5 hours. All right, the cabin, and this is cool. This is really cool. I like it a lot. And the eye is instantly drawn to this unorthodox circular digital display. It's a digital frisbee, and it measures 9.4 inches, and I think it's gorgeous. All models in Australia get this striking setup, which has a lot of computing power behind it, which means everything responds really quickly. It's very, very fast. And it's got a good refresh rate to the screen, a high resolution, and better yet, the menu system is excellent. It's super intuitive, whether you're scrolling through the menus or playing around with the navigation. I like it. That said, I don't like the continued absence of a digital driver's display. But unlike the Tesla Model 3, which only has a central screen, these Minis do get a head-up display. And truth be told, the resolution is excellent and it does work well. So it sort of helps mollify the situation a little bit. Don't get too hung up on its country of manufacture either, because everything feels really, really solid and well put together, from the way the doors close to these nice door handles, the Harman Kardon sound system. And it also should be noted that popular cars like the Tesla Model 3 and upcoming Kia EV5 are also built in China now. Standout features in the car include these really nice sport seats. They've got plenty of bolsters, and the new steering wheel. It's got a smaller diameter than before, so it feels a little bit more athletic. The rim is a little bit thicker, and there's also this interesting fabric strap down here, and another one here on the dashboard, and this interesting little store box down here. And it's these little features that give the car a unique personality, a real dose of character that few other rivals can match. Mini has condensed the central controls to this little unit here, and it's really elegant, really simple, and I quite like it. You've still got a couple of toggle switches. The power switch is very, very different as well. And one thing that isn't so good is the fact that to adjust the main climate controls, you have to go through the touchscreen, and it's a few more processes and steps. That's a bit annoying, but I do like the wireless phone charger down here. It's in a good position and it's relatively secure. Because it's a 3-door hatch, you get into the car like this, the old-fashioned way. Because the seats are powered, it takes a fairly long time. Fold the seat down and it's coming back, and look, room isn't too bad. Headroom's not bad, and that's because the vehicle is quite upright at all corners. Legroom is not great, but look, seat comfort is good, the headrests are nice, but again, amenity not so good. One cup holder, a coat hook and a light, no USB ports, and yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't want to spend too much time back here. Pop the rear hatch and everything is in proportion. Small car, small boot. There's not a lot of space back here, but you can fold the rear seats down, which opens up a lot more cargo space. In terms of amenity, it's not great. There's a little light in here, but there's no shopping bag hooks. There's also no spare tire. Under here, you've just got a charging cable and a sound generator, which is designed to give it a whole bunch of synthesized awesomeness when you're revving that EV engine. Well, so far so good. The ethnically diverse, more affordable Mini presents really well inside and out, but is it still a cheeky scamp on the road? Cue the driving music. Driving around the burbs, around town, small villages, the Mini is excellent. You've got really upright windows, vision is very, very good, and ride comfort too isn't too shabby. Yes, this is a firmly sprung vehicle, but the suspension is well tuned and it seems to settle very quickly over speed bumps and things like that. It's quite impressive. Another thing I've noticed about this car is the sense of luxury. Not only is it well built and feels high quality in the cabin, but it's super quiet. There's not a lot of road noise, there's not a lot of wind noise, there's not a lot of tyre noise. Powertrain response off the line is a little slow. They say 6.7 seconds in this vehicle. Feels a bit more like 7+ seconds. But once rolling, this front wheel drive tacker is really quick. And you can hear from the audio, the synthesized audio, that it's pretty weird. But you know what? I like it. It's got character. It's got personality. It's a lot of fun to drive too. It is a very mischievous little vehicle. When you nail the throttle through corners, if you have it in go-kart mode, it spins up the front wheels a little bit. There's a little bit of torque steer as well, and it's just a lot of fun. Indeed, it's hugely engaging, and there are two main reasons for this. The first is the steering. It's really direct, it's got a bit of heft, a bit of weight to it, and there's even a little bit of feel as well. It really is quite satisfying tracking through corners in this vehicle. The second reason is the suspension setup and calibration. It sits very, very flat. There's only a little bit of body roll when you really push it, when you're really wringing its neck. And the only thing that really hampers its dynamic abilities are the tyres that do give up pretty early and the brakes, which lack a little bit of feel and bite. Unlike the first Mini Cooper Electric, this one is not based on a combustion engine vehicle. This one is built from the ground up as an EV, and it definitely feels more resolved in general, and it really is delightful to drive. All the autonomous driving controls work really well. It stays in its lane when you flick on the automatic cruise control and lane keep assist, and the augmented reality satellite navigation is really cool as well. At first I hated it, but I'm kind of enjoying it now. It shows you exactly where you need to go. Negatives, well, I think ride quality is probably not going to be amazing on Aussie roads, because most of these roads we're driving on are super duper billiard table smooth. So we need to get some more time on rougher roads to really get a sense of what it's like in terms of comfort. The other issue is range. This thing does not have a huge battery, and when you're driving it hard, and it's difficult not to, you end up using up a lot of battery. But overall, there's way more pros than cons. It feels as though the EV has evolved with this car, and this is definitely one of the most entertaining EVs I've ever driven. It is just a barrel of fun. It's hugely tenacious, and I can't wait to drive it some more. One could argue the latest Mini is about as British as Oktoberfest, and its origins are certainly unorthodox. If you blend jam and scones, dim sims and sauerkraut together, the taste is going to be, well, unusual. But the drawn-out metaphor I'm trying to assemble here is my way of saying this thrice-cooked EV is rather Moorish. We'll have a more in-depth review of this vehicle once it arrives in Australia later in 2024, and there's no denying globalization has reached new heights here. That said, this vehicle is a multicultural machine that blends tech and tradition to great effect.